Hey everybody, and welcome to another mini lesson. This one will be maybe a little bit different from what we normally would do, something more along the grammar lines. This is actually going to be more pretty basic vocabulary focused, but it's specific vocabulary to what is often deemed the South. So I don't know if you know this, but many people consider North Carolina and even Virginia, which is north of North Carolina, to be part of the South or the Southern region or the southern states in the United States. So, like many of you, I did not grow up here. I am not from North Carolina. I moved here in 2015, and from the first day being here, I realized, which I think I probably expected, I don't remember, but I learned very quickly my first day here that there are a lot of words that are used here that I did not know, or I knew them but I didn't use them, and just a lot of other things that we would consider to be slang word or a slang phrase. So I've tried to survey some people that I know here locally in the Raleigh area to see what would you consider to be slang in the South, or just different vocabulary that is found in the southern region of the United States. So some of these you will probably recognize, but it might be helpful to get a more clear definition of what these words mean. And some of them might be totally new that you've never heard this and you may never hear it. It's just going to depend on who you come in contact with in this part of the country. So let's start. Do you know this one? I guarantee you have all heard this. You may not have ever seen it written because I find it's often these slang words or this regional vocabulary is often not written because some of it is slang, so it would not be necessarily be considered proper English for an email or something you might read in a story unless you're going to read a quotation or a quote of someone. This is the word y'all. And I don't say it quite as well as people from the South or from North Carolina, but that is this word, y'all. And it means a few different things, but in general, it means you, a group of people, you, 7 people, all of you. I'm talking to all of you as a group. I'm talking to you all of you. When we say y'all, we're not talking to one person. That would just be you, right? We're saying 2 or more people or a group, or it could be a really big group. So the whole class, if I wanted to, I could type a message on WhatsApp, or I could say in the video, what's something that's said? I don't even know because this is not my normal vocabulary. I don't use this word. What would I say? How are y'all doing? That you'll hear that when your family walks into a store, somebody might say, "Hey y'all, how y'all doing?" It feels so funny for me to say that because that's not in my vocabulary. So that's the first. The second one that I would argue is more widely used in the United States in general, but I think it gets put into the category of a word from the South, is this word ain't. And it means I am not, or she is not, or they are not, or we are not. It basically means not. So I could say, we could talk about the weather, and we could say, well, it ain't raining. That means it is not raining. Or we could say, are you going to practice Burlington tonight? Nope, I ain't, or we ain't. And I will tell you, not growing up in a community that used this word, I was always taught that the phrase ain't a word. So that means ain't is not a word. That's what I was always taught. However, in my opinion, I'm finding it more commonly used, not necessarily in more proper English places like a work email or a work document or a report. I do still consider it to be more slang. So, but you are going to hear it just out in the community. You might hear it in your class. You're definitely going to hear it on TV. It's not, I just think it's becoming more common. So, ain't. All right, the next one, this one was new to me. And I'll explain, because you're going to see these words look so familiar. How could this be new to me? Well, might is not new to me. Could, would, maybe should. That's not new to me. We know those as modals or modal verbs, and they show things like likelihood, possibility. We use them all the time. I might go to the grocery store later today, or it's getting kind of dark. It might rain. That's showing possibility, excuse me. I would like to go to the gym tomorrow. It's showing my intention and what I hope to happen, but it may not happen. So I know these words separately, but I had never heard them together. So you will hear people say, I don't really find this, I usually don't see it written, and I don't know that I've ever seen it like on TV necessarily, but you'll definitely hear people here locally saying, let's do another example with, it's always with might from my experience, and then might could, might would. I think those are the most common. And all of that together in whatever form means maybe or might. So in my conversations with people, when I first learned this, they would say, yeah, you want to go at 7? Okay, I might could do that. And I thought, wait, you might do that, or you could do that, or you can do that? What does that mean? Is that a yes, or is that a maybe, or is that a no? So anytime you hear this, you can focus on the word might, because ultimately it's just redundant, which means to you're essentially saying it twice, and you don't need to. They could say, I could go at 7, which shows some possibility and a likelihood. They could also say, I might go at 7, which means maybe. Or, yeah, if it rains tomorrow, I would go to the store instead, which means I might go to the store, or I would or could go to the store. So all of it just means possibility, and we can consider it to mean might or maybe. But that's probably one that, especially learning these words in an English lesson or grammar lesson, learning these as modals and then hearing them together, you maybe wouldn't realize that it is repetitive. It's repeating in a way where you could just say might, or you could just say could or would. All right. Next one. This next one also was new to me in the sense that these are words I know, but I'd never used them this way, and I don't know that I had ever heard them this way. We'll see if you've heard this. Fix into. So we know the word fixing or fix, right? That means if something's broken, we repair it, we fix it. But when you hear this phrase fix into, you're going to hear it something like this. Well, I think she's fixing to leave right now. Where did your mom go? She's fixing to leave. Or, I don't know, what were you doing in the kitchen? Well, I was fixing to put the dishes away, but then the phone rang. So it means, another way that we would say it is going to do something. I was going to put the dishes away, but then the phone rang. Or she's gonna leave. What is she fixing to do? She's fixing to leave. She's going to leave. That's the plan. That's the intention. You're saying what is going to happen or what you're going to do. Fix into, or the full word is fixing. All right. This next one is, dare I say, controversial. I don't know. Well, I'll explain. Bless your heart. So I have heard this phrase back where I am from, where my family lives. Bless your heart. It often means it's a term of endearment. It's meant to be sweet. Like, for example, my grandma might say, if I bring her flowers, "Oh, bless your heart," meaning you're so sweet. Thank you. That was so kind. It's intended with love. But what I have learned, not in a bad situation to me, I hope, that I've ever known, but it can also be a little bit sarcastic and unkind. So sometimes you can hear people, and you'll see it more sarcastically on TV, I think, in a show, saying, "Oh, bless your heart," which can mean you don't know what's happening, right? So I don't know that I would say stupid, but we're getting there. Someone might be calling another person stupid. Or gullible. Not you, but people. If someone's gullible, that means that they believe everything. Or naive, just really not knowing or not understanding a topic or a situation. So be careful with this one. I would not advise using this one, because I'm sure you have other phrases and you have so many other things that you could say in place of this, because unfortunately in some communities and some situations it's been used to be unkind, and a little bit sarcastic, and not a term of building up and endearment, but instead a term of, or a phrase to put someone down, and basically make them not feel great and feel very small. So that's one. I don't have really a definition because that one required more explanation. Okay, last two, which they're I wouldn't call these slang. I would just say different vocabulary. I would almost even say older generations use these words, but they're still around. So these ones I don't know if you would hear, but I have heard them. So maybe. I thought they would be helpful. Yonder. So you'll hear it. It means over there or down there. It means away. So not right here. We would say something is right here or right next to me. Instead, we might say, where's the dog? Oh, he's down yonder. And that might mean, depending on the context or the conversation or the house, it might mean he's down at the end of the yard. It might mean he's across the street. It might mean he's way back in the woods and the trees. But you could also say, I've heard it be used this way, to say in yonder. Where did you put my book? Oh, it's in yonder on the desk, which might mean not right here with in this room that I'm in, but in the room next door. So either way, it's giving you, I would actually call it a preposition of location. It's over there or over there, but either way, it's not right here. So yeah, but this one you would need some more context. You would need to know or be present to see, what's the space look like? What does the house look like? What does the neighborhood or community look like? All right, last one is kin. So this is another word for family or related to. It simply means family. So the way that I've heard this, which I was unfamiliar with, is to say that he is kin to the man that owns the store. It means he's family. It means he's related in some capacity. Now we don't know. Does that mean brother, cousin, father, uncle? We just know that in some way they're related. So, are any of these familiar to you? Are any of them new? Do you have any? I'm really curious to see if you have any other new or Southern slang vocabulary to add. Keep in mind that there are so many more slang words that are used that might not be specific to the South. They might just be specific to the United States. Their English is spoken in England, and I'm sure they have slang words where we would say, we don't even know what that thing is. And it's simply new vocabulary. So I would encourage you to try to keep your ears and your mind open to words that are English. They're spoken in an English, on an English TV show or an English conversation you might overhear, but then to take note, okay, they said this, Like gonna. Gonna is a good example, right? We said fixing to. Fixing to. Well, gonna would be slang. It means going to. I'm going to go to the store. But here, you're not going to hear everyone specifically lay out all those words. We're going to say, just like I just did, we're going to say gonna. That's just what you're going to hear. Same with wanna. I want to buy that purse. I want to buy that purse. Just to give you a couple of examples. But that's not specific to the South and where we are. That is English as a whole, any part of this country. So please thumbs up once you've watched. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, put in a vocabulary word or two if you think, hey, this might be slang, or is it not? And I can try to help you. So bye for now.